What is the true purpose of yoga? What is this ancient technique all about? So there's a lot of misunderstandings of the true purpose of yoga, and more like underestimations about the true value and power of this ancient practice. So yoga is not about stretching your body. It is not about performing a bodily posture, and it is definitely not a physical exercise. And when we can understand the limitations of the human mind, we can also compassionately understand the limited ideas that we have created around the practice of yoga. So the human mind really likes the benefits that it can verify through the physical eyes, the physical benefits of yoga. And there is a lot of powerful, outstanding physical benefits to the practice of yoga, like increasing your blood flow, to strengthen your body, to become more flexible, to increase the circulation and the lung capacity, to strengthen your immune system, just to name a few. So these benefits are powerful already. But actually, these physical benefits are only the beginning state for yoga. It is only where the yoga starts from. And many of the practitioners stop here for the physical benefits, and they will never actually dive into those deeper waves of yoga, into those deeper paths where we can start experiencing the human consciousness in a more profound way. So yoga started to spread as a reaction against the exploitation of the nature and the animals. It started to spread as a reaction against the rising consumerism, the rising busyness of the human lives, this rising stages of stress that were creating separation, not connection. So the yogis and sages were verifying through their own experience that there is more sustainable source of bliss and happiness found from within. And this source of happiness and bliss is much more sustainable than any happiness that you can get from external world or any happiness that you can buy. So yoga can change you profoundly from within. It can change your brain. It can change your mindset. It can change the stress responses, the emotional responses, and most of all, it can change your awareness. So that we can start actually feeling, how do we sense, what do we experience inside our bodies, inside our minds, and dive into that witnessing consciousness state that will benefit your behavior in very, very positive ways. So when we start to learning to control the subconscious mind, it brings you power to control your lives, so that we don't fall into those autopilot tendencies, subconscious tendencies and reactive patterns, but we're able, with that witnessing consciousness, to rise into that state of peace and into a state of non-reaction. And it is all rooted in prana, regulating and learning to regulate the life force in more efficient way. And this will create space. And the intercellular space creates more vitality. It makes the prana flow. It creates well-being. It creates positivity. And most of all, it creates space so that your heart can breathe its intelligence, its softness, its kindness. Space for your higher self, the better version of yourself, to rise up. So yoga is really about tuning inwards, into that inner sense of deeper self, into that transcendental stages of yourself, so that you can start experiencing and perceiving and relating to life in a more deep, profound, and meaningful ways. And the real juice of yoga is to learn to know who you are. Who you are beyond that limited sense of self, beyond that personal identity, beyond those ideas that you created about yourself, in those realms where you are more subtle, into realms that are more nuanced, realms where you can find the clarity of your soul's purpose. And this realm is really about radical freedom. It's about tapping into radical acceptance, radical kindness, and ultimate liberation. And in these realms, the kindness of your heart starts to shine out. In this realm, the peace of your mind is rooted gently, profoundly in your fullness of your being. In these realms, your every action is integrated to the benefit of all life.